Hello guys, welcome back to this channel and thanks for viewing this video. Today we are going to talk about JButton and I'm going to take some examples to explain to you how JButton works. I have already done a tutorial on JButton, how to create a button in Java GUI. So today I'm simply going to come back to this concept and then give you some examples. So the first example that we're going to do is to create a button and then place that button on the frame. So what we need to do first is to create our frame object. So I'll say JFrame. I'll call this my frame. Assignment operator, new JFrame. And I will call this, so Java GUI JButton demo. I need to import the JFrame class. So I have to set the attributes of my frame. So I'll say my frame that set default operation on close, JFrame that exit on close. I can also set the size, set size. So I'm going to say 400, or let me increase that a little bit, 800 for the width and then 600 for the height. Then I will say my frame that set location relative to, say null. Okay, this needs to be capital F because that's how I named it here. All right. So I will set the layout manager to null. So set layout. Let me say null here. Then the last one will be my frame that's set visible true. All right, so now we are having our frame. Let me run and you will see what will happen. So this is the frame showing on the screen. Nothing has been added on that particular frame yet. So we are going to add a button to the frame. So for that, we need to create a button. So I will say JButton btn equal new JButton, and I can say subscribe. All right, so that's the text that will appear on our button. Let me import the JButton class. And now because we set the layout manager to null, we need to add the alignment of our button on the frame manually. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to do the set bound. But let me explain to you what I mean by that. I will start by adding the button to the frame. So I'll say my frame that add btn. You will see that when I run, the button will still not show on the frame because we have not set the bounds or the alignment or even the size of our button. So that's why it's important to add the set bounds here because the layout manager is set to null. That means the user will have to place the items or the GUI components on the frame by himself. So here I will say 350, 200 for y-axis, and then 200 for the width, and then 800 for the height, like this. So now let me run. Now you can see the button is showing on the frame. We bring that to 150, I think 250 would be okay, I guess. So now this is how our button is looking like on the frame. So now if I want to continue this particular example, I can add the action listener on this particular button. We already know you can implement the action listener on a particular class, but you can also apply the action listener directly on a GUI component, for example, a button for that matter. Okay, so for that, we are going to add, first of all, another GUI component that we will call JTextField. So I will say JTextField, text field equal new JTextField. And I will say semicolon. So let me import the text field class. Now, once the text field has been added, I can now apply the action listener to our button. So let me come down here. I will say btn that add action listener. So in here, we need to add an action listener parameter. So normally we can say this if our class here, the test app class, was implementing the action listener. But that's not the case. We only want to add the action listener to this particular button. So we are going to need to declare or to instantiate a new instance of the action listener class. So I'll say new action listener. And in here, I'm gonna open and close the curly braces like this. So I'm having some errors because I need to import the action listener. I'm doing it like this. And I need to add some unimplemented methods. So when I add, no error is showing. So now what can we do? What we can do is that in the action performed method, that's where we're going to define the event or the action that should happen whenever we click on the button. So let's say, for example, when you click on the button, we want a particular text to be output in the text field. So we will simply say text field set text, and I'll say you have subscribed. So that's the text we want to show on our frame in the text field. This will still not show that particular text because we have not set the bounds for the text field here. So let's come down here and simply say text field that set bounds. And then now we can specify the alignment, position, and then the dimension of this particular text box. So let me say 100 here. Or I can say 300 and then 100. As for the width, so that would be 240. All right. So now let me run. When I click on the button here, nothing is showing because we need to add the text field to the frame. So I will say my frame that add text field. That's it. Let me run the program. And when I click here, now you can see you have subscribed showing on the text field. So let me simply change some text properties. So I'll say text field that set background, and I'll say color that blue. Import the color class. Text field that set font, new font, comic sans. Let me say font that bold, and then the size, we will say 20 pixels. As for the text color, we say text field set font foreground color that white. Now let me run. Okay, so when I click on subscribe, so now you can see the text showing you have subscribed. I'll simply decrease the size of the text. Now you can see you have subscribed showing whenever I click on the button. So I can also show you how to display an image on a particular button. So what we can do is that we will come to our JButton here. As you can see, when you run, it's the subscribe text that is showing on the button. So we can say instead of showing the text, we want to show an image. All right. So in the JButton constructor, we will remove the text and we will use a class called image icon. So we will simply say new image icon. And then in here, we need to specify the path to the image we want to show on the button. So as you can see in my project here, I'm having an images folder and I have 2 images inside. So we're going to use the second image, which is called subscribe.png. And that's what we're going to say. So that /images/ the name of the image, subscribe.png. Let me import the image icon class like this. And now when I run, you can see the image that is showing on the button. So this subscribe, and then you have the icon here, and the text is actually an image, a PNG image, right? So when I click, I can still have my message showing on the screen. So that's how you can actually work with buttons, adding an action listener directly to the button, adding an image on a button, and how you can add that button to the frame as well, how you can click on the button and then output a message using the action listener and the action performed method, for example. So guys, that was it for this video. It was just a JButton demo video, how to use that. And I hope it was informative, and please don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos like this one. Let's meet in the next one.